It's another edition of We Say What They Can't. I'm your host, Dom Rock. To my right, we got Pyro the Fireman.
Yeah. Pyro, we in the building. Y'all know how we do.
Put that music down a little bit.
Y'all know how we do, man. It's Pyro. We in the building.
PS Dot.
Yeah. I got a right to be hostile, y'all. My people been persecuted. Y'all know what it is.
What your shirt say today?
Hashtag fuck Zimmerman.
There you go.
Hey.
Cinemax.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Cinemax, in the house.
Let's go.
What up?
We got Christian on the camera. Yo, what's up, man? First of all, we want to give our condolence to that terrible shooting out there in Orlando this morning.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. To the victims and stuff like that. Pyro, where we going first, man? We going to that 2020 interview with your man Bobby Brown?
We gonna do that. We got to give a big happy birthday shout out to our DJ, Lord Jidanks.
What up?
What's good?
He was actually
Can y'all
born.
hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
He was actually born like 12:30, right?
Yeah, man. 12:30. We got a little bit.
Oh, so
we got
you
a little bit.
You got a whole 24 to go.
man.
Whoa.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Jinx is a hell of a driver too. I didn't know he could
man.
drive so good. too.
Word.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little later.
Listen, man. Man, Bobby Brown, one of my favorites of all time, had an interesting interview this week on 2020
Yeah.
about an upcoming book he has coming out. He spilled a lot of tea, said a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I want to know, do we believe him, first of all?
Which one? That he had sex with a ghost?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, because see, when you come...
when you come?
saying-
Wait, what?
Listen. When you say certain things like, you had an affair with Janet Jackson, you had an affair with Madonna, we want to believe you. But then you follow it up and say you had sex with a ghost. It's kind of hard. It's kind of not to see like, maybe cracked up days. I don't know. But what's your opinion? Like, should he even be spilling the beans without Whitney being here to defend herself? Like, what y'all think?
PS, you go first on that.
I mean, like I said, I don't see. He ain't say nothing about Whitney. We ain't already know.
Right.
I mean,
I ain't know about Pac.
huh?
I ain't know about Pac.
I mean, you knew about what's homeboy name?
Ray J.
Ray J.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
is it that's a? I mean, I don't even think it's a diss. I mean, she used to mess with him. Like they was living a wild life. I said the only thing I'm glad, not glad. This is the wrong word to use. If his daughter was still alive, I think that would have been disrespectful.
Right.
But his daughter's not here no. I mean, he's just telling his story. It's his story.
So it's
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
it's a way of him healing himself, huh? I mean,
It's just it's just. I mean,
Sorry, I was a little late with the gunshots.
to the match.
I mean, I think it was a good form of how you say it, like healing too, to actually come out and tell your story and have people listen to his side of the story. I'm glad that he expressed openly that it wasn't him that started Whitney on drugs, because that's been his whole scrutiny this whole time. Everybody has kind of like blacklisted him, like he was the one that turned her out and this and that, when a lot of people knew that it was actually her brother that turned her into drugs. So, get your story out there. Still making babies, still married, doing your thing. Go ahead, Bobby Brown.
So Pac really got around though. Like,
it wasn't saying it wasn't just a song. Like I said, I don't see what the big deal is, man. I mean, no disrespect to Whitney, God bless his dead, but I mean, she was a regular girl. Like people have this image of Whitney that really wasn't her. She was a regular girl, regular woman.
Does the image of Janet Jackson change? She cheated
No.
with Whitney's husband, according to him.
Wait, it was while they were married?
That's what he said. He cheated with Janet
that's
Jackson.
what he said. Yeah.
Oh.
Yo,
You know.
Bobby was hot back in the days.
Yeah,
man.
he was.
He brought
He
the
was.
dark skinned dudes back. He was hot.
I had a poster on my wall.
Bobby Brown was it, man. Y'all
Ronnie?
acting like Bobby Brown was this dude you see now. No,
No,
he
he
was
was-
the guy.
he was.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was the hottest dude out here, R&B. And Janet at that time, she was kind of hot. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, come on, man. What's the big deal? So,
Yeah.
Yo, check it out. We're going to bring our first guest in. It's coming up June 17th, the opening of Gersh Park.
Hey.
He looking like, damn, you going to bring me in early? Let's go, DP, you up. Let's go. Yeah.
We got a guest pack show today. We say what they can. We in the building.
No doubt.
Yo, welcome.
DP, what's good, brother? How you doing, man? Make sure you talking to Mike.
Pause.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
What's going on? Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Everything's good. Everything's good. Same old.
No doubt. So June 17th, let the people know what's gonna be happening, man.
Well, June 17th is tip off.
Yeah.
Late night. First Park.
Yeah.
11th year.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it going. Keep it sturdy every year.
No doubt.
Big year. High school coming in this year.
Oh wow.
So it's a different division. I got different divisions this year.
Yes.
Okay. So tell the people what separates, it's a million tournaments out here. What makes Gersh Park as high as it is right now?
Probably the energy.
Yeah.
The energy of people. People watch games. People watch players and they do research and they follow. So I think the energy is just different all across the city.
Tell the people some of the players, some of the NBA players that's come to that tournament and played in there.
Go back to Ron Artest.
Yeah.
Kemba Walker, Lance Stevenson. Who else? I think. Those just come to my head right now.
Yeah.
Those major.
No doubt.
Well, you said you've been doing this for 11 years. What made you start it? What made you want to start this, and how did it grow to be like one of, if not the best tournament in New York City, period?
First, just being a part of it in our community, just right next door to where we grew up at. So that was a major part. And then after I started playing in the tournament, started help running the tournament, and then just grew up as time went on. And then sponsors started knocking, sponsors started looking, and that's what changed.
Yeah, I seen y'all up in like Foot Action or something, man. What was that? Foot Action or Foot Locker? I saw y'all
Foot
shirt.
Locker.
That's dope. That's hot.
Nighttown. A floor, an emblem on the floor in Nighttown.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this the first year y'all have the high school coming in, right? High school division.
Yes.
What's some of the big name high school dudes y'all got coming in? Like, cause I know y'all got there's quite a few.
Well, it's different. Depends on the teams. You got Jeff, defender champs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shout to come on! You can't just say like with the Jeff.
I was throwing you the alley. I wanted you here.
The champions, Thomas Jefferson High School.
That's a fact.
And my man used to ball too. He was nice with it too.
That's
Yeah.
a fact. Jeff, you got 2Gs, you got Almighty Force. You have a lot of good programs that have multiple players, so that's a major thing that's big this year.
Do you think having a high school division, like, is it gonna? Do you think it would push the tournament even farther? Because I think that's something I think been missing for a while, like the high school division. In a lot of tournaments, a lot of tournaments have unlimited, but if you get these players when they're young and then they'll come back when they go to college, it'll just make the tournament even bigger. So, I mean, you think it'll make the tournament grow even more?
Well, it definitely broadens your horizons because this day and age, sponsors, the people that's kicking out funds or whatever, 2 tournaments, or what they're looking for is kids. They're looking to build up the youth, to build up programs, and not just have adults that's already established. They're looking to build up the kids, and that's been a big thing for us since we've been training every summer, training kids on weekends. We just said, let's implement high school.
No doubt.
Dope. Super dope.
What do you think? I mean, how can I say this? Keeping it all positive. When I first went to Gersh, when I first heard about it, and I found out where it was, I was like, what? But having a tournament out there, and there's no incidents. It's like, how big do you think that is for just the tournament, for Brooklyn, for everything? Because, in this day and age, unfortunately, you have a lot of incidents and nonsense that goes on. So is this something you'll do special to make that happen?
Well, that's just everything. You hear stuff and they hear the area, East New York, they hear Gersh Park. Until you get out there and you see, it's just a community. You have a community organization. When you touch so many people in the community, they want it. They look forward to it. So they want to keep it afloat. So it's not just the people. It's not just people that run the tournament. It's the community too.
Yeah.
So people are going to have a negative view. They may see things or hear things, but until you're there, and the master speaks. So those 100 people that say, oh, don't go there, it's negative, you have 10,000 that say, I'll be there opening night, I'll be there throughout the summer.
Exactly.
And they follow what's going on.
And there's police presence out there as well.
Always,
we work with the community, so police, we have our own security, so we want to keep people safe, because that's, basketball's only a small part of people's lives.
Tell the people some of the stuff you guys give away. I've been to a couple spots, couple tournaments. What you guys give away sneakers, like shirts, everything. Let the people know. We
try to just give away things to the community because sometimes we grow up in these inner city communities. We have tournaments and sometimes they don't give back.
Right.
They let the kids play, but we're able to give things to the kids. If it's we have a back to school give back where we give kids book bags and school supplies.
Yeah.
And then on a nightly basis we may give sneakers, shirts, park apparel.
Right.
Sometimes we do. They get to shoot for money from half court.
Yeah.
Last year we gave out $500 each month to somebody make it from half court. So just trying to get back.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. So if I come out and I shoot from half court, it's good? I'm qualified?
Anybody.
Cinemax, we going?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Because I ain't hear nothing about the ladies going on over there. Y'all need cheerleaders?
Well, definitely we try to infuse females in there. We have the women's all-star game.
That's what I was going to ask. You have a women's division?
Not a division, just an all-star thing. We bring up some pros in, women that play professional overseas, and just have that during all-star Saturday.
That's good, yeah.
So, like, who's the favorite? I mean, who's the favorites? I know you hate this question, but who's the favorites this year? Based off on paper.
You always gonna say the defending champs.
Yeah.
That's only right.
Yeah.
But one thing that's gonna shock the world, no never rain, never will.
Yeah.
So this year they're taking a year off, which is good because sometimes take a year off to give you that hunger to come back.
Right.
But you definitely gotta go with the defending champs Madoff movement. They have a strong program, strong team. So, but you never know who's a favorite because you'll never know who may come into the park.
All right.
It depends on the reach of the coach.
Got another question for you. I'm sure you're following this NBA Finals and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I want you to become Tyrone Lue.
Okay.
Your team is down 3-1. What do you tell that team? And you are a great coach too. You know what I'm saying? What do you tell that locker room? Like, listen, this is what we got to do to get ourselves back. What do what's your speech?
The biggest thing I look at, first of all, you look at Golden State, just too powerful. They go on spurts. Other teams go on spurts. I hate those spurts.
Yeah.
The Golden State go on spurts. So they run off 16 straight points.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I think that helps Golden State, that hurts the Cavs, they got to get Bogut out the lane. He's the greatest weak side helper. So if LeBron gets to the basket, he's leaving Tristan Thompson to help. So they got to get Bogut in screen and rolls. They got to make sure they got to do that. And those bigs have to flash. So it's tough to beat them. The Cavs is tough because when they go in one-on-one with Kyrie, who is basically unstoppable one-on-one,
right.
When they put LeBron unstoppable, other guys sit. And, it just makes it tough. But it's just too hard to beat Golden State. Not with that chemistry of the Cavs. And I like LeBron. It's just that Golden State got too much.
This guy likes LeBron too over there.
So do you think LeBron losing so much in the finals affects his legacy in a negative?
Never.
No?
Because those people that say that, they'll never go to the finals 6 times, 7 times in a row.
Right.
LeBron James. I think he's the best player in the world. This is my
opinion.
Whoa.
Get him, Cinemax. Get him.
You said the world? You talking about right now?
Right now.
Right now.
No, I'm not saying the best to ever play the game.
Oh, okay.
Just the best in the world, just pound for pound. What LeBron's going to do, you tackle another 10 years, people going to be tough time chasing those records.
Yeah.
He's not talking about health issues, doesn't have a surgery like other players by this time in his career, so those things matter.
Yeah.
He's a big beast, though. He is.
Yo, I don't even know why you brought this subject up. I really don't want to talk Cavs like that.
That's Pierre's man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's over.
I piggyback off what he said. I mean, I'm the biggest LeBron fan, but he got to show me something tomorrow. Like, I mean, he got to show me something. He got to lead. He just got to lead by example because they on the road. A lot of people ain't going to show up on the road on this team. I can tell you that right now. And I know he's capable of doing it. He need to go back to game 6 against Boston, LeBron. Like, he just take it all on, and everybody will follow.
DP, tell the people I want you right now. I want you to promote everything, like whether it's if you got a website, IG, Twitter, let the people know what they got to do to follow this big time movement that we support big time up there.
Yep. First, let's start. Y'all gonna be out there opening night?
Yeah.
Yes.
We was there last year.
We was there.
Well, let me hear.
I got a nice little joke, but I'm gonna say the joke. Shout out to my man Pyro. We was out there night last time, but we definitely. But what I want, you want to put people on the spot. Last time you was here, you said, "Yo, I'm gonna bring y'all some shirts. Next time I come." And we got it on tape. You want to hit play?
I believe it. Trust me, that's nothing. I got you. That's definitely not. I just gotta get the amount of staff because y'all staff increased everything.
Yeah, it's a new show. We was a locker room. Now we say what they can't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just sports. We talk about everything.
Okay, got you. I got you. That's not. Of course, you don't think about opening night and those things. It's just that it's different now.
Yeah.
It's creating place. Everybody get wanted to get in. Those factors matter because we want to keep people safe. It's just that when you have teams that have no idea of want to watch the game, that's the negative part, and that's what deters adults that's scared to really watch basketball or have a good time. But there's no issues, no negative.
Who's playing open tonight?
Good question.
It's always a rematch of the chip, the last game. So the rematch of the finals, they play last.
That's dope.
And then the game before that is 2 new teams. and then the first game 5:30 is the 2 high school players.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that's I'm really digging that high school league. I'm really digging that.
What time does it start?
5:30.
5:30.
7
What's the date again?
June 17th.
This upcoming Friday.
Oh, okay.
All right. So what you got? Promote.
Well, basically, just follow Gersh Park on IG, Eastern World Classic on Facebook. People that usually know what's going on, they on top of it. They follow, and Twitter, same thing, Gersh Park. Shout out the sponsors that take care of the situation. Jordan Brand, Nike. Those are things that matter.
Shout the staff out, Fly Ty and the crew. Shout them out.
Ty, he's at work now. Couldn't be on the mic. Shout out Ty, shout out Slivs, Jim, Doe, Geach. Everybody that's a part of it. Tommy, Kenny. There's a whole slew of people that make it run. That definitely make it run nightly.
No doubt. So, yo, we going to let the birthday boy get off. Play a couple tunes. We going to take some flicks with us?
Yeah, definitely.
No doubt. Let's do it. Jinx, you ready?
You hear me? You hear me?
We got the Feurtado brothers coming up next. Don't move.
So tell a friend, tell a friend. We the real niggas in here. So tell a friend, tell a friend. Cause we back at it again. So tell a friend, tell a friend. 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 Yeah. Cause we back at it again. They love it when you lose. Yeah. But they hate it when you win. Yeah, but we ain't even gonna trip about it. Nah, cause the hate just begin. So get your little paper, nigga. I'm counting money with my friends. And I don't even want your ass, baby. Why? Cause I'm lurking on your friend. My squad lit up in the spot. Niggas front, you getting shot. Then we post up on the block. A couple blocks on our side like a cop. Different foreign, different Jordan. Her basket opens, then I'm scoring. I hit it once your bitch is boring. Come and get your hoe, this bitch keep calling. Whoa. Yeah, we back at it again. Yeah. So tell a friend, tell a friend. Got the whole spot lit. So tell a friend, tell a friend. We the real niggas in here. Yeah. So tell a friend, tell a friend. Cause we back at it again. So tell a friend, tell a friend.
So we say what they can't.
Try to tell me I can't put it right. Try to drag my name onto the dirt. I'ma show you what I really want. Get to work and put work in your nose. Skirt. Fucking your bitch while you at work. I'm in my back in a Birkin. Yeah. Flipping squirt. Wanna serve. Flipping squirt. Riding 30 serves. I thought fuck I was selecting Korea. I put the razor to the plate straight. I put the stove on the flame. With the block. I brought the head to the kitchen, make a skirt. Scraping the plate, I make a skirt.
Been do what I want when I want. Okay. Welcome back. Yo. He wanted to play with me, man. I played with triggers. Took the oven off my waist, started baking niggas. Doctor brought him back to life. I'm like, I'm breathing niggas. Went in the ER, told him stop saving niggas. Hood investor, silver Tesla. Check my dresser, I'm the best dresser. Who dress better? Salad nigga, you dress matters. Which is a dress, I dress him like you address letters. Kanye daughter, pink fur and white tee. Sorry, Mike, the kids wanna be like me. Make a movie, no Spike Lee. Tell girls politely, come to the criticize.
What we talk about, we say what they can't.
Yeah.
Got to get off a couple.
Yeah.
Birthday boy.
Lord Jennings.
Turn out a little bit. Yo, we got we got two special guests in the house.
Yeah.
The legendary Lance and Todd, the Feurtado brothers. Yeah. King of Kings. Speak to the people. Let the people know what's going on out there. What y'all doing?
What's going on out there, man? We just hanging
So-
out with
so-
TDF, man. You know what I'm saying? We here to say what other people can't say.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, we got to drop. We got to keep that one. Listen, June 25th. Heard people got throwing that nice suit, that nice tux. What's going on out
Yeah,
there?
straight touch. Well, June 25th, that's our 3rd annual King's Gala, man. It's
Yeah.
going down, It's a black tie affair. It's the only fundraiser we do for the year.
Yeah.
We do so many community events, and all of our community events are free for the community. But this one particular event is a way for the community to support the King of Kings Foundation so
Right.
we can continue in our efforts to support them.
Because listen, last year in December, I went to the Christmas thing. It was trucks and trucks, loads of toys.
Yes,
We got there late, and my kids were still able to get toys. I was just like, yo, these guys is incredible for that. Man. How you guys pull that together?
Man, listen, man, it's by the grace of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's other organizations that partner up with us, man, and it's, so many of them to shout out, and I don't want to just start shouting.
No
If
doubt.
I forget a name, they're going to go, yo, man, you ain't mention it. You know what I'm saying? But listen, the community comes together, various organizations, grassroots organizations, and we all make a collective effort, to make sure that no child leaves without a gift.
No doubt. Y'all can check it. Yeah, talk.
And the beauty of it is, right? We don't take for granted that every child is afforded the opportunity to receive a gift. So we take that stand, and it's a pleasure. Like, I'm not gonna say it makes us feel good, but Lance always said, if it feels good, if we knew that it felt this good, we'd have been doing this a long time ago. And that's the blessing of it. It's all about giving back, making sure the children have a fair chance at this thing called life.
Right. I wanted to ask this question to you guys because this always comes to mind with guys like yourself who changed their lives. Was it like a moment that just happened, or it was like a progression, like, yo, I just want to do something different with my life. I want to go a different way. How did that happen?
So, cats like us, man, being in the streets since we was 11 years old, it was like the street life was all, people thought we knew.
Right.
But we came from a family that had an educational background, believe it or not, a background in law enforcement, as ironic as that may sound, but while we was in prison, and we started learning more about the prison industrial complex, and we started learning more about modern day slavery, and we said, you know what? We played a major role in opening up a black hole and filling our prisons up with our young future generation leaders. So we said, you know what? We started making a difference while we were in prison. We didn't wait till we came home. We started there. So while I was incarcerated, I was a GED tutor. I was responsible for helping over 75 inmates receive their GED. So that's where it started.
Yeah. And the beauty of that is, it's not like we was in the same federal prison where we had correspondence where we said, hey,
That was my question. That was my next
this
question.
is what we're going to do. God moved on our hearts in separate facilities, and as Lance made mention, it had to start where we was at that particular time, because a person would be a liar if they say, well, you know what, I can't wait to get home to make a difference. If you're not making a difference with the younger people who you're surrounded by in the prison system, you're not going to do it when you come home. Like, you're feeding yourself a lie. And when you force feed yourself a lie, the end of that road is destruction.
Shit. What's up?
That's deep. I mean, you guys, when did you actually start your foundation, the King of Kings?
So the King of Kings Foundation was created back in 2005. It was created as a way of giving back by reaching to our at-risk youth, really the high-risk youth, But one thing when we was in prison, right, and we wanted to talk about our life story.
Right.
And so, we actually wanted to do film. Just kind of depicting our life story. And so it was brought to our attention that there was two roads to achieve that goal. One was do a book first or do a film documentary. I chose the later, so we chose to do the King of Kings documentary. And from there we said, you know what, we want to go into schools and we want to start speaking to the youth, giving them more of a chance than what we had. Because when we was 11, 12, and 13, no one took the time to come to our schools and speak to us.
Right.
And had they taken the time, we still might have looked at them and said, well, who the heck are you? Can you relate to what we going
Exactly.
through?
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, us being the credible people that we are, with our soul still intact, we said, you know what? We got a strong message and a unique way of delivering our message. We're going into these schools, so we said, you know what? We got to form an organization first. Yeah. And so the King of Kings Foundation was developed from the King of Kings documentary. And, from there we just became certified vendors with the Board of Education. All of our staff is security cleared, so, we're in several schools making a difference.
That's right.
That's just some of the programming.
And shout out to my man Kamel,
Always.
Ellis Enterprise.
And Melly Mel.
You know,
Always.
he tuned, he locked and loaded. Yeah.
Yep.
So listen, I'm sorry, you up, Pearl.
Nah, I wanted to ask a question. So, you know, prison system today is a little different. They took away a lot of programs, like the GED programs, the college programs, things like that. You know, the biggest myth I think in the United States is prison is supposed to be a way of reform. You know, it's the biggest lie ever, and it's like, you know, not everybody has what it takes to go to prison, deal with that form of regression that they're giving to you, and then come out and make something positive of your life. What do you think? What do you think about that? Like, why is it that so many of us go in and can't get on the right path like you guys did? Like,
Because first, and Todd says this all the time, you know, rehabilitation comes from within self.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to reform and rehabilitate yourself. You have to change, and as Todd would say, your stinking thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And make it up in your mind first that, you know what, there's something bigger and better to life than what I've just been achieving. You know, and I can't go out there the same way I came in, because there's a lot of cats in prison on joke time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not realizing that they got 64 and 84 years, and they thinking that 2 years gonna go by, and they go, hey, CO, open the door, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
It's not happening. So you have to consciously make that change mentally right then and there, that I'm gonna make a difference in somebody's life, whether I leave from behind these walls or not. You know, and you just have to realize, man, that life is not a joke. It's not a game.
Yeah.
We grew up on that philosophy: here today, gone tomorrow. Man, it's here today, gone today.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's time for our people to wake up and, yeah, man, listen, man, we want to shout y'all out. Let me do that.
Yes.
Because
We'll take
y'all-
it.
Y'all took a station that was basically concentrating on sports and made it more conscious.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Where you could bring a message.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so with you bringing that message, that now makes y'all mentors, leaders. You know what I'm saying? So that means y'all have to take responsibility in the message that y'all putting out there to help lead our future generation.
I mean, recently
That's what it's about.
we recently started talking to schools and stuff, and that's
Yeah.
like one of the greatest feelings when these kids come up to you, because,
Come on.
like you said, it's like, you know, some of them probably may be looking at us like, who's that? Who's these guys? But if you just reach one or two people in those rooms, anything that can inspire a kid to do right, then that's the greatest feeling in the world. So building on what you just said, what do you think is lacking in our communities that we can change to not even have them get to that part? What do you guys think is the most thing lacking that leads us down the wrong path a lot of times in our communities?
I think first and foremost, I'm not going to say real men, because that's a misconception, because a man is a man.
Right.
And a man needs to step up, right? You know, you have a father that planted the seed that gave birth to a child, but it takes a man to become a daddy, right? And once they step up, regardless if it's your child or not, and play an intricate role, give a word of good encouragement, uplifting. When you see that child, know that child's supposed to be in school, and you're not saying, hey, little brother, little sister, what's going on with you today? Is everything all right? You know, we failed. And as long as we continue to fail, as long as we continue to fail, we're going to constantly have truancy, cutting in class, not paying attention while you're sitting in class. So every one of us that's of age, or even young people, you're sitting on a gift, right? Because we're born with common knowledge. But when we allow ourselves to get polluted by the system, quote unquote, then we allow the stinking thinking that we was programmed will come out of our mouths in this misdirection. And as long as we continue that, we as a people are constantly and continuously in trouble.
No doubt.
And so, just to add to what my brother was saying, it's leadership. And so when people hear the word leadership, they automatically think about, our pastors or our political leaders. No, I'm talking about influential people that are in those communities.
Right.
You are a leader.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't lead righteously, then you allow this to happen on your watch.
Right.
And what I always say to cats is like, yo, man, do you think these dudes are crash dummies? Are you gonna sit back and just watch them crash?
Yeah.
So you have to lead righteously. You know, some people kind of look like, yeah, man, when I'm still, living that negative life. no matter, man, you're still influential. So I remember back in the day, you know, like it was a lot of cats that tried to follow behind us, but we knew they was good in school, they was playing ball or whatever. We wouldn't allow them to come down that road.
Right, no doubt.
Be like, yo, man, get the hell off the block. You know, go on about your business. You
Yeah.
know, go to school. And that's what we got to get back to. There's rules, codes, and procedures that go along with this. And we have to put that level of respect back, and we're using influential leaders, credible messengers to do that.
No doubt. Pierre,
so-
son?
Talk about what you were just talking about, leadership. I know you guys play a big part in the hip hop community, like especially when it comes to violence in our communities. What do you feel? You don't like everything that's going on in the city and everything. You think we're going backwards, or are we making progress in that aspect of talking about violence? Because in my opinion, I believe any artist should tell their story, but I feel that you should also tell the consequences of your story. Do you feel like that's missing in a lot of the music today?
Yeah, man, definitely. I definitely feel it's missing, you know. And not to take anything away from our artists, because I love rap. We influence rap. But you have to put the consequences out there. So one thing that we always say, there are choices, there are consequences, and there's something at stake. You know, and then we have to understand that a lot of our kids, man, are being misled mentally because they believe what they hear and what they see. You know, so you have to destroy the myth that, you know, it's about gangsterism. No, man. You know, I be telling cats all the time, you know, don't never let no one pull you down or talk about you, because every time they look around, you studying, you doing your homework, you trying to achieve academically, and they calling you like, yo, come on, dude, we going to the party.
Yeah,
Yo,
like it's
come
not
on.
cool to be smart or something, right?
Right. You know what I tell them? So them same dudes that's looking at you today talking about, yo, man, you ain't nothing but a nerd, man. You ain't nothing but a suck. Every time I call you, guess what? Later on down in life, those same ones that was calling you a nerd and a sucker gonna be calling you boss.
No doubt. So, with that being said, which I said, do you mind telling people your guys the consequences you had to go through, as far as the time and stuff like that? You guys had to serve.
Well, I would be the first to say, and a lot of people, whenever Lance and I afforded the opportunity to grace any stage, I would be the first to say, I thank God for United States Marshal, because they made a nationwide sweep on our family. And from what we know today, we was on the verge of blowing hell wide open, right? And we was taking a lot of people with us. So when the United States Marshal made that nationwide sweep, not only did it save our lives, but it saved the lives of those who thought that what we was doing was cool, right? And I just want to backtrack for 1 second. When we speak about that hip hop thing,
Got you.
we got to realize as a people, we was born with the gift of gab, right? So now they presented us with a mic. That mic gave us a platform to give a message. As Lance Bay mentioned, we love hip hop. We remember the essence of it. But somewhere along the line, we allowed our gift of gab to be polluted. And in the pollution of our gift of gab, certain things started coming out of our mouths that the younger generation was taking for law, for truth. And they started walking in it, right? So the ones that's sitting back profiting off of that yes, y'all, is not paying it forward.
No doubt.
In reference to young brother, like we gotta get back to self-destruction.
Right.
We all in the same gang. You know what I mean? We got to get back to the positive message, because once again, we are walking in the gift, which is the gift of gab. We all have a mouthpiece. I listen to y'all. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all
Thank you.
and I love how y'all articulate, right?
Yeah.
So when the listeners is receiving this here, they're receiving the good positive message. But we have ones that have the gift of gab, but just kicking, hey, yo, walk down the street, pop that lady in the head, throw your move off the roof, and bop your head to the beat.
Yeah.
What sense does that make?
Well, speaking of that, we know we had the recent incident at Irving Plaza
Right.
with Troy Avenue. I saw you guys at the press conference with the victim's brother.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like how being so close to that situation.
Yo,
What's
man,
your thoughts on
that? That was like really close to home.
Right.
And everything that happens is close to home, because we're all just 6 degrees from separation.
Exactly.
You know, Shanduke, you know, shout out to G-Mac. Those are my dudes, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we got the news of that, man, we was like, okay, you know, how we gonna handle this? Because we're all in a movement to fight against and speak against violence.
Right.
You know, so I want to say shout out to the crisis management system that's out there, the Cure Violence teams.
Yeah.
You know, and Shanduke plays a major role.
Right.
He
That's
plays a
what's
major
so.
role. So we thought I said, oh man, we got to lift this brother up in prayer.
Yeah.
Because we can't lose this brother back to the streets.
Yeah.
Because he's helping to make a big difference. And, he's standing strong. His mother is standing strong. And I just thank God to just give him and his family the strength, man, to persevere. Persevere, man. And just going back, like Todd said, man, you brothers got voices, man. So I think collectively, man, we can get the new rappers out there. Let's make a new self-destruction. Let's make a new We All in
P.S., you ready?
Let's make a new one.
Yo, you know what's hot about y'all? Y'all, he's still laughing. Yo, y'all quote each other. This is like y'all third time quoting each other.
That's
so, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the fact that y'all listen to each other. Nobody feels like they're bigger than the next one.
Oh, no,
I respect
man.
that.
No, listen, man. You brought it up. Choices, consequences, what's at stake?
No doubt.
It's my walking Bible, man. Right. It's my partner. It's my
Shout out to Todd Shades too. Man.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Besides being my partner, that's my best friend.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's
but
hot.
you asked a question about choices and consequences
Right.
that we made. You know what I'm saying? And so this is for the listeners that think it's fly, you know what I'm saying, to go to jail. Ain't nothing cool about going to jail.
Nah.
While we was in prison, man, I lost 13 members of my family, man, and
Damn.
we were not allowed to go to the funeral.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Life moves on, you know what I'm saying? Families are destroyed. That's what the system does. It tears down. You know what I'm saying? But we as a community, as a village, man, we got to build back up, man. I know you brothers could do it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, no
you know what I'm
doubt.
saying? Because y'all say the things that nobody else
That's there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Come on.
I have a question. So growing up, what were the things you guys felt like you were missing to make you want to go to the streets?
Good question.
Okay, so the block that we grew up on, right? Every family on that block is what I describe as a fully functional family. Every home on that block had a mom and a dad, so they had dual income. We grew up in a single parent home, not to take anything away from my mom, because she did the best that she can with what she had. But looking at those families where those kids had what they wanted, we didn't have what we needed.
Okay.
So at a young age, being involved with gangs, doing all the wrong things, we kind of took matters into our own hands, and we, took matters into our hands thinking that, we're going to help mom make ends meet.
Yeah.
And so ends started to meet real quickly and changed from helping mom, and we became lovers of money. And that was part of our destruction also, man.
Right.
Like, what is it? I mean, let's just put it out there. Is ass whippings missing? Like,
Yes.
is that what's
Yes.
missing?
Listen,
Yes.
y'all gonna get mad at me, right? 'Cause it's a Sunday, right? Right, but I'm gonna just say it like this.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I tell them that all the time, and they say that I'm gonna get an ACS charge. I don't have any kids, but I feel like every kid, even if they're good, they just need to get a taste of an ass whipping just so they can know what could possibly happen if you do the wrong thing. I got plenty, so I think each kid need one in their lifetime.
I think every child that threatens their parents with BCW need to have brakes beat off of them.
What?
Parents, because a parent need to be willing to go to prison, right? Because look at it like this here: if your child goes to
No
a
doubt.
store and steal a piece of candy, they're gonna call the police on your child. Your child can get a juvenile record.
Right.
Yeah.
But if your child steal a piece of candy and that parent beat that child behind, then that parent's in trouble. Where's the balance?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Doesn't make sense to me. Give me a belt, I'm tearing that butt up today, tomorrow, and yesterday.
So I want to know, like, yo, when did we become such punks? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, we in schools, right? In one school that we in out in Corona, right? Shout out to 145Q. It's a Latino speaking school. It's Mexicans and Spanish. Hey, yo, they parents still stick to that. Hey, papi, listen. No. I pop you in the mouth. Right there in school, and the teachers applaud it. And I'm just saying, like, we need to get back to that,
Yeah.
paying it forward, each one teach one, each one reach one, that village concept,
Right.
because that's what it takes, man. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community, man.
Definitely.
I mean, this really is right here for my son. That's my son on the camera right there. Okay.
Oh, he about to get his ass whooped when you get home. Nah, guys.
Something you
because-
said really rung true. It's like when you was younger, dudes who wasn't supposed to be on the block doing certain things, they were sent on. Like, I grew up in Bed-Stuy. We wasn't sheltered kids. We was outside doing whatever. But I had my mother and father. The one difference that I had, there was always a consequence to my pops. Like, other dudes could do what they want. I had to answer to my father. My brother chose to do other things. I chose to play ball. You know what I mean? But I like the fact that you guys is talking about consequences, because when I talk to him about it, you know, I'm a little, sometimes I think I'm too easy on him. Like, I'm nothing like my pops to him. Like, it wouldn't even be a discussion. My father didn't have discussions. It was straight, yo. And I think sometimes, is that wrong? Do we need to get stricter, or because I always said I wanted to talk more.
So here's the thing, and I applaud you for that.
No doubt.
Because, yo, man, our kids today are so much more intelligent than we were.
Yeah.
So it's about appealing to their intellect, giving them something to think about, because ultimately the choice is theirs. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. When your dad put it to you or whatever, at the end of the day, you still made your own decision. Like, yeah, I'm hurt, I'm listening, but I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? But I say this to all young black men. Yo, listen, man, where we living here in New York, and not just New York, across the nation, man, yo, there's a license to kill us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put it out there, man. All I want y'all to do, if you don't remember nothing else in life, remember choices, consequences, what's at stake. Before it's about to pop off, before you about to roll up that blunt and blow them trees, before you gonna knock down that Henny, listen, think about the choice you can ready make.
Yeah.
Then once you think about that choice, think about the consequences, then think about what's at stake. If you just take 30 seconds and stop and say, I got a choice, there are consequences, what's at stake. I guarantee you, 90% of the time, you gonna make the right choice.
So many people think about that. They think about that after, the 30 seconds after than the 30 seconds before. It take 10, 15 seconds to change your life. And if you just took, like you said, 20, 30 seconds, you know, it's one thing. I think a lot of the people in this world who make the right decisions, they do that. And we have to somehow, as parents in this world, especially in this microwave age that we live in, be even more involved in our kids' lives. And it's a little bit harder now because you got to stay on top of so much because they're so smart nowadays. Exactly. And you have to make that connection. So I think like PSA, it's a balance. You know, back in the days, you know, they was very strict, beating with tree branches and all that. I don't think that's right. You know, I think the strap,
I had to go get my branch.
You know, stuff like that.
You get it.
And the talk and the discussion is what leads to the change. You know.
But you know what? I'm gonna give you something that's very powerful, right? It's a thing called premeditate. Mm-hmm. So if you got a second to think, that changes the whole dynamics in how law enforcement is going to interact with you, right?
Right.
But I got another one, go a little further. For all the men that's listening, you're walking in the gift as you have been called to a higher standing in life. Despite the way your child moves, right, you need to understand their ideology in life. Not saying you agree with it, but understand where they're coming from, right? So in doing so, you open up that big window that allow you to impart that sound wisdom that we all are so easily sitting on. And it's just simply put, right? The character of our children's tomorrows depend on what we place in their hearts today.
That's what's up. And so here's another one, right? Because I know you said, like, you know, and we all got beat. Listen, man, my mom was crazy. God bless the dead. So my mom put the pieces to us, but we still did what we did.
Right.
But just think about it. Go back to Big Mama, right? Big Mama knock your head off and then sit you down and go, nah, baby. So that talking comes out.
Yeah.
So
Big Mama like 29 now.
Yeah, that's a
His
problem.
grandmother's at like 30.
But so that's why we as men, you know what I'm saying, have to take our natural role back, man, and start being more influential, more impactful, you know what I'm saying, positively, because we so easily promote something negative, you know. Yo, your kids are going to emulate what you do. You know what I'm saying? If you thinking it's cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it, but I just think about somebody is emulating you.
Yeah.
You sitting back and you blowing your trees talking about, yeah, I know, you know, my dude, listen. Yo, let me get that Henny. Man, listen, sooner or later, your child that's only 3 or 4 is going to emulate that because they copy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be mindful. That's a commercial that's on TV, not to cut you off.
No. It's just
There's a commercial that's on TV, and I love it, man. It's this young brother, you know what I'm saying? He walking, he chilling, and he about to roll up, and he goes, hold up. He looked to the side. He got his little sister there. She's about 4 years old. He's like, yo, if I do this, then she's going to be doing this.
Right.
You know, then he goes to do something else and goes, man, if I do this, then she's going to be doing that. That's making a conscious decision right there. And that goes back to what I was saying about influential leaders. Yo, our kids are not crash dummies.
That's right. Like speaking of kids, like like I know Kamel's told me when you guys go out to the school, and he told me some wild stories that some of these kids said. Now I want you guys to tell me what's the wildest story that one of these kids told you about their experience. Is that bad?
You know what? It's not as much as a wild story, but the conditions that a child might have been living in. Like, for instance, when Superstorm Sandy hit, we was out in the Rockaways, right? A young fella was coming to school, and he had on the same clothes every day, and he had a hat on his head, and he wouldn't take it off, so the teacher was kind of upset with him.
Right.
So he shared with us on the sidebar that he hasn't washed up in days, he haven't cut his hair.
2 weeks.
He hasn't brushed his teeth, and he don't have a change of clothes. So, and this is stuff that our kids are going through without a storm Sandy, right?
doubt.
So little things like that, before we chastise a child, we need to just to say, hey, are you okay? Is there anything you want to say? Listen, I'm a good listener. What happens in Vegas, stay in Vegas.
Yeah.
And while we in Vegas, if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know, because at the end of the day, I got your back. And this is what your kids need to hear.
Exactly. So we're not going to put it out there like that. But what I will put out there, I remember back in the day when we was in school, gang banging no matter what we was doing. Our aunts, our uncles, mom, whenever she had time, and even once in a while my dad. Even though he didn't live with us, he wasn't really absent like that.
Right.
But at any given moment, somebody could be at the back of the classroom looking in the door. As parents, we don't even do that no more.
Right.
You got to sneak up to the school, you know what I'm saying? Because your kids be showing out.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all like it is, man. Y'all kids think they King Kong. I'm telling you. Sneak up in that class and just stand there and watch. Don't announce it. Don't let them know you coming. Just tell the principal, don't say nothing. I want to go up to my child's room and I'm going to look in the back door. And you're going to be surprised. And guess what's going to come back? That A whipping.
No doubt. You guys see any I love the energy. I love what you guys are doing with your organization. Any thoughts of maybe ever diving into politics? City council out there in Queens, man. Like,
Christian, I don't know if you caught their faces on that one. That was crazy.
Listen, man.
Table that.
Oh yeah, so you got to table that conversation.
Okay.
When we went to visit the school, we were talking to the kids, and me and Maroc, we were sitting there talking to the kids, and like you said, sometimes like the responses that we were getting from them, it was really shocking. Like, it's crazy what they're impressed by and what they're in tune to, because we were talking about something and he kind of brought up love and hip hop, and one of the girls was like, because the girl was at the strip club, and we were looking like, no, like, what are you talking?
And then she defended. It's like it wasn't like the hole in the wall strip club. It was like the fancy strip club.
We were sitting there like, no, sweetie, no, that's not a good thing. So you definitely have to watch what you're doing, because these kids are watching.
So here's a word of advice. Next time you go into a school and a young lady or a young man brings up something negative, right? Don't necessarily say no to them, because they're not getting it. So you got to point out the negativities about it. Like, listen, okay, so they was on the pole, right? So what do you think about that, What do you think about the B word? How do you think it got so loosely in our community? Because it was a lot of respect. You got to start pointing out the negativities to that action and allow them to make up their own mind. Because you can't go in there and go, no.
Right.
No, you got to say, okay, let's look at it. You know what I'm saying? Just like, we was talking earlier, and we talk about how kids don't think real quick, and they just react.
Right.
Because everybody listening to, man, I go from a 0 to 100 real quick. Real quick. You know what I'm saying? So we stop. We say, okay, what's some of your favorite songs? And that was one of the songs that came up.
Right.
We said, okay, let's analyze the song. Let's break it down, lyric by lyric, vocal by vocal. Let's just analyze the song. Let's see what they talking about. When it was all done and said, they all kind of looked at me and said, we'll fall back a little bit now. I was like, yeah, that's one of our unique approaches. We just gave y'all a June.
Yeah, we're going to steal that. We're going to
say. That's what I was about to say. Thank you.
We're going to steal that one.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
One of the most important things, right, when you're interacting with any young adult, is we always heard your first impressions is the most important, or maybe your last. Yeah. So we give food for thought, right? Because when you give food for thought, you're not speaking down. You don't have your finger in the child's face because you might be giving some very good, valuable information, right? But if your voice tone is a little high and your fingers in the action, because you know how we New Yorkers, this is how we speak,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So your fingers in their face, they're going to miss the good message. All they're going to say is, yo, why's that brother or that sister disrespecting me like that? And it's not about the disrespect. It's about giving you food for thought. 'Cause at the end of the day, the decision belongs to you. But we're going to let you know every step you take, more than likely, we've been down that road, so we can kind of tell you what's on block 3, going to 5. When you hit Avenue 7, what's going to happen. Watch out for Liberty Avenue. We're gonna give you the bullet points, right? But it's up to you to navigate, but we're going to give you the information to help you navigate without our fingers in your face.
All right, so what I want y'all guys to do right now, I want y'all to plug that 25th, June 25th, and just any place that people could contact y'all if they want to help, they want to sponsor, whatever.
Okay, so again, June 25th is the annual King's Gala. It's a black tie affair. It's for the grown and sexy. We party with a purpose.
No doubt.
It's a way of helping to support our organization so we can continue in the other events that we do. And we use those events as a means of bridging the gap of communication between our youth, our adults, and our seniors. So after that King's Gala on June 25th, our next event is our Friends for Life Community Breakfast / Barbecue. That's August 13th. Immediately after that, we have our back to school giveaway, getting y'all prepared academically so y'all can go in there and learn some things. Immediately after that, we got our cancer awareness walk, which will be October 2nd. Immediately following that, in November, we got our Lady Tanya Reed's Feed the Community. That's going to happen in November. And then again, in December, our annual Christmas Carnival Party for the kids, man. That's what we do for the community, to bring the community together.
So how can they follow you? How can you guys get this information?
You can go to kingofkingsfoundation.org. That is our official website. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow Todd Feurtado. You can follow the Feurtado brothers. You can follow the King of Kings Foundation. We're on Instagram. Just plug in any one of them 3.
I couldn't find y'all. I was looking for y'all. I couldn't find y'all.
On what?
Instagram.
Instagram
is under what?
It's under Feurtado _
Got you. I got Todd on Twitter.
Brothers.
I got him on Twitter.
Right? And then it's also up under King of Kings _ Foundation. We there, man.
Got you. I'm gonna look again. That was a rough weekend. I'm gonna look again. All right, listen. I want to thank you guys for coming out, man.
If I
Thank
may,
you.
Yes.
You could do whatever you want to
I
do,
want to give
brother.
a quick shout out, right, to the King of Kings Foundation.
No doubt.
For all our board members who earnestly lay down their lives, right?
No doubt.
Because we truly believe in the least we have done to a child, we have done to our Heavenly Father, right? So we take that not for granted. And the scripture tells us, train up a child in the way that he or she should go. That means not only our child, that means your child, right? So I'd like to give a shout out to my sister that's sitting behind us, Deb Jameson.
Yeah.
We want to shout out Deb.
She's a board member. And in all reality, Deb takes care of me, right?
Yeah.
Wherever I go and I'm speaking, Deb takes care of me. Like, she keep the wolves off me, and I love her.
And so listen, we want you to notice that she's wearing orange, right?
Yeah.
Because orange is supposed to, it's a symbol of peace, right?
Yeah.
So we want everybody to know out there that June, this whole month of June, is Peace Month. That was a bill that was actually passed in the city council that officially in New York City, every June, it's a whole month of peace. So orange is the color, man. We want everybody just to represent, you know, just help keep peace in the community, man.
No doubt.
No doubt, man.
There it is. The Feurtado brothers.
Yes,
Give
sir.
it up.
Thank you.
Say what you want.
No
Say
doubt.
what they can't.
We gonna let the birthday boy take us home.
Lord Jakes.
I get a little.
You blushing? You sure you about to cry?
I'm about to get. I just wanted to get a little ratchet. It's birthday time, but
All right,
I really want to reflect on what y'all said. Shouts out to the Feurtado brothers. It's real big. We really got to look out at things. You know, a lot of even the music that I'm about to play, like, do your work, do your things first, get your grind on. You know, become something, make something of your life. And
It starts with people like you. You can't be playing that bad music, man.
Yo, listen, I know you got something back there. I got one for him. I know he got Nas back there. I know I can.
Yeah.
That's the listen.
So after he played his first one, he got tuned up. He got to go into that. You got to do it now.
Hey, yo, man, thank y'all for having us.
Thank y'all for coming. Thank you
Anytime
so
y'all need
much.
us, man, we here.
Jakes, real quick before you do that, tell them where the after party is going to be at, where they can find it.
ProjectSoulSociety.com. Just click the Project TV sign, and you right there.
No doubt. Next week, y'all.
Next week, we say
Happy
what they can't.
Sunday.
Happy birthday to me, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Birthday. It's your birthday.
If I die, bury me inside the Louis style. They ask me what I do and who I do it for, and how I come up with this shit up in the studio. All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. When I die, bury me inside the